1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Is the question. Have we got audio? Can you hear me? Yes, we have. Right, if you just give me 1 second, I just need to make sure we're live on Kick. Yes, we are. Right, hello, welcome. Before we start, a lot of you guys have been asking, how do I start with DeFi? And some of the terms I speak about, they're unfamiliar with. How can I learn more? So the DeFi Lounge is back. If you want to join it, you can click the link in the description. It's $9 a month. There's a classroom section which details what you need to know to get started in DeFi, including a nice glossary section. There's a chat as well. A couple of people already joined. And that is the place to make your first $100 in crypto. So if you want to find out more, link in the description and I shall see you in there. Today I'm going to talk about making your first $100 in crypto, specifically DeFi, because a lot of people this year will unfortunately make zero money. And the reason they'll make zero money is because they'll hold on to the coin, watch the stupid YouTube videos, listen to the stupid price predictions, and think that the price is going to go insane on their coin. The bad news is it isn't. And I don't know how many times I need to say that, but that's just the way it is, unfortunately, this year in crypto. So what you need to know is, before even depositing a single dollar in DeFi, right? A single dollar, you've got to look at, can you actually use any of your existing assets? Is it worth it for your own situation? And what does that even mean? So if you've got a small portfolio, you need to be really realistic of where it can go. You may only have $1,000. If you expect to get an ROI of, say, $1,000 back off $1,000 portfolio a month, it ain't happening. You've got to be realistic, right? If we go over to the one that I've been growing, this is at the moment, and it is earning me, it's pretty accurate at the moment, $418 a month. So it's around a 10% ROI on this specific pool with these specific ranges with what I'm looking to do, which is grow this to 10K as fast as possible. I'm not telling you to follow these pools. I'm just showing you an example of what I am doing. Back to this. So if you've got a small portfolio, you've got to be realistic about what you can do. And again, bad coins. You cannot polish a turd. If you've got a coin that's dead, that ain't doing anything, there's not an all-time high in a million years. I heard someone talk about Jasmine the other day. Where's this at? Year to date. To be fair, there you go. It may have life in it, that. Probably not, but you've seen all the ones, extremely low market cap. I go on it every single stream. Page 5. Scroll down. Pick one. And there you go. There you go. If you were trying to earn more of this coin, it's pretty pointless in my opinion. And there's so many charts like that. The other thing you've got to decide is, what are you trying to achieve? What do you want to do with your portfolio of coins? Do you want to earn income? So you're not bothered about stacking more of the same coins. You just want to earn an income off them, which you can do. So with this that I've got, if I want to, that $418 a month, I can just take it in USDC and spend it on whatever I want. But my goal is to grow that to 10K by the end of the year, to show you what is possible with DeFi. That's what I'm looking to do. What I'm looking to do, maybe not what you're looking to do. How much I've deposited in here, maybe not what you want to deposit in here. And that's the beauty of DeFi. Do what you want. Your rules. If you really want, you can go and put more money than this in a ridiculous pool. You may lose all your money, but that's what you may want to attempt that. I don't advise that at all. So do you want an income? Do you want more coins? Or are you just testing what is possible and to see if what I am saying is not shit? If what I'm saying is actually true, and it is possible to earn some actual income in this market, as opposed to just sitting and doing nothing and waiting for the market to go up every day, watching a chart. What you need to do then is see what is available. So what coins do you want to potentially earn yield on? Some you may not want to, some you may want to. Have a look at what protocols are out there and then test the process with a small deposit. So for example, this site that I've shown quite a lot of times is called VFAT. This isn't a site that gives you yield. It is an aggregator. So this is a third-party site that searches all the protocols out there for yield on your behalf. So what you do is go on pools or farms, and what you can do is search for an asset that you want to earn yield on. Hey presto, I've searched Avalanche. We've got a list here that we can start going through. Now, obviously, there's certain criteria you can look at. Minimum total value locked, minimum pool fee, and also what chain it's on. Depending on what coins you have, you may have a load of Avalanche coins. So obviously, you want the Avalanche C chain. You may have a load of base chain coins, etc., etc. They're probably going to be cheaper than ETH, whatever you use. So then you do that. Then you want to test it with a small deposit. And a small deposit to you can be, I mean, it's got to be something where you can see a bit of growth. So maybe $50 minimum, $100, just to see how it behaves. So find some similar pools. You may find some ETH Avalanche pools on this example. You may find a couple of Avalanche USDC pools. Put a bit of money in, give it a few days, see what the ROI is, then come back to it. How is it behaving? What am I actually making? Right, okay. Now I'm interested. So you evaluate the pool. Is the APR accurate? Are you happy with the ranges? Obviously, like a 2% range is stupid. And the range is the low price to the high price, what you earn yield in between. So if we go over to Orca, it's better to show it. So for example, if we were to go on this Zcash USDC pool, for example, and you were to put it, this is a 10% range here. If it was a 20% range, you earn yield when it's in between this range here, with a low price of 285 and a high price of 348. That is setting your range. Now you're happy it works, then you can study more and plan your move. However, don't jump in and start scaling. There's several stages, right? So on day one, you're not testing $100, and then day two, just depositing 50K and off you go. You need to learn ranges, how they work, and how active you want to be. The guy with 100 grand may just want to have a massive range, right? A massive range, but is able to just earn and set and forget because the range is that massive. So if we go to Orca, and let's just say the guy with 100K may think, well, I want a massive range. And they may want a set amount they want to get each month. So let's just say this guy's got 100K. Look at what that is. There we go. So the guy that has 100K may want ranges like this. And it's been within this range for a long time. Last time it was out of it was November 25. So what's that? 6, 7, 8 months, right? And they'll earn 600 a month off that. Or if they want to tighten it to the last, well, start of the year, 1K a month in this range. And that is a massive range, right? That's like 100% range. But if you've got someone with a smaller portfolio and is okay with managing it, they may want a tighter one just to earn more yield. Like this. And then if they've got not as much, they may want to squeeze as much as they can out of this yield. Yeah? Which will change how much they get a month. Right? Now, people always talk about going out of range, impermanent loss, etc. And it depends on how you look at it. Because if you were to hold the asset and the asset goes down in price, you're actually better off with the pools because some of it's gone into USDC. And then again, you're better if it goes up in price because it's actually DCing out for you. And the issue that people have with saying, well, if I held it, the price would be more. Well, you're not going to sell it anyway, let's be honest. If you're in for a period of consolidation, there's going to be bits where it goes up slightly and bits where it goes down slightly in terms of the year, right? So you ain't going to sell unless it goes up by a ridiculous amount, and it's not going to do that at the moment. I'm just being realistic with you. So you'd rather earn yield off what you have. Yep. There are bigger yields than this. This is just an example of Zcash USDC. Obviously, mine's earning a considerable amount better with a 10% 10% yield monthly at the moment, 120%. So that's 10% a month. Going back to this. Now, the next thing is lending. And I'll go into this later in the stream about what happened with the latest thing on Aave. Do you want to use this strategy? Do you want to lend against your Bitcoin? That's another thing if you just got Bitcoin. And again, learn how this affects your taxes. if in the UK, DeFi is classed as income, not capital gains. A lot of people ask me, what do you do? All I do is track it on Coinlay. Coinlay is a crypto tax software. Which is this website. All you need to do on this is sign up, connect your wallets, and then it will get you a crypto tax report pretty quick. And there's a lot of countries, it's not just UK, US, Canada, a few European countries, etc. And then all I do is then send it to my accountant and then they work out my tax, including my business and everything else. There is some confusion as well. So when I talk about me having a business, that is what I have. A limited company. I run my YouTube through it. Anything that sells, if it's a PDF or any sponsors I work with, affiliates, etc. It all goes through the business. I don't run DeFi income through my business. I run DeFi income just through my self-assessment like a normal person would. Nothing to do with my business account, just to clarify that. So the steps are simple. And again, if you want to implement it, link in description, DeFi Lounge, $9 a month, quickest way to start your journey. Earn your first $100, right? Earn your first $100. If obviously you want to take it further than that, you want to take it faster than that, you can book a call to work with me directly. We have 3 weekly calls. We have a full onboarding call to break down your portfolio, etc. But if you don't want to do that yet, you can start in this group. Okay. Now, to move on to what happened with Aave. And it was this protocol that was hacked. And this is how ridiculous DeFi can get. If it wasn't ridiculous enough in DeFi, this particular protocol, and there's a few like this, basically it enabled you to restake your staked crypto. So you stake your crypto, then you get another token for staking your crypto, and then you stake the token you got for staking. And it basically means you're staking upon staking upon staking, which is, stupid in my opinion. Right? And you got a token called STETH. I think it was STETH, or was it RSETH? I don't know. But yeah, STETH. And it was for people just being silly, doing the restaking game. And this is a bridge too far for me, to be completely honest with you. And this is what you're seeing with some of these exploits, just these ridiculous protocols. What that will do, though, and this kind of breaks it down here, saying that, what the people did was use Aave to put this RSETH, it was, sorry, on Aave and borrowed real ETH, but it was artificial RSETH that they generated. But it wasn't Aave that got hacked. It was just they were using Aave to wash the money, basically, or create real ETH with fake ETH, if that makes sense. What this will do, though, is because it was about staking tokens, this may push people towards back to stuff like staking on Coinbase, for example. So on Coinbase, on a lot of the exchanges, you can stake your crypto. So people will think, well, I'm not using DeFi because this thing happened. Well, I'm going to use Coinbase because I trust them. Right? But what people don't understand is the centralized exchanges use DeFi. That's how it works. It's just like if you get a loan in the UK or a mortgage, the money that comes from that is just above the rate that they get it for. So there's a Bank of England base rate in the UK. The bank is getting a rate. The bank is giving you a rate that is higher than the Bank of England base rate because they've got to make money on it somehow. So Coinbase, when you stake your crypto through Coinbase, all they're doing is just using the protocols that you can use yourself, right? That's literally all they're doing. So Coinbase have come out today and they've allowed in the UK, and they've been doing this in the US quite a bit actually, they're allowing you to borrow USDC against your crypto, right? So what they're doing is what we've been talking about for ages, is accessing liquidity from your Bitcoin. And again, you can borrow up to 5 million on this. Receive your loan, repay it on your timeline, which is pretty much what you do in DeFi. Right? However, what they're even doing is they're literally telling you what they're going to do with it. So you know what you can do if you wanted to. Obviously, you can use Aave if you put off Aave by this latest thing that happened, even though it's not Aave's fault. You could be like, right, well, I want to take a loan against my Bitcoin. I'm going to use the exact same thing the Coinbase are using, because this is what they're using. So it's a rate of 5.33% that they offer. And I guarantee that Coinbase will be offering more. So Coinbase will have a higher rate just because they've got to take their cut. So Coinbase uses this protocol. They've told you that they use this protocol. So my question will be, why do it through Coinbase? Because if something is going to F up by doing this, it don't matter if you use Coinbase or this, because it's the same thing. But you've got the extra risk of if something happens to Coinbase. You know? So anytime someone says, well, DeFi is too risky, I'm not going to stake my crypto on DeFi, I'm not going to use liquidity pools on DeFi, I'm not going to take a crypto loan on DeFi, I've got a Coinbase account, I've got whatever account, Kraken or whatever, I'm just going to use it because I've had an account for years. All they're doing is using the same thing. They're literally just using the same thing. They've not got their own protocol. They're just using it, right? And that's exactly what Celsius did, but they were just over collateralizing and doing stupid shit. And that's why they went defunct, right? Will Coinbase be more careful about what they're doing? Of course. Of course they'll be more careful. But at the end of the day, they're just doing the same thing that you could do. Your keys, your coins, your wallets, right? Of course you could do a mixture, right? If you're like, well, I don't like the Aave news, I don't want to use them to take a loan back on my Bitcoin, right? No worries. Well, you could use Coinbase, get some USDC, and then you could use it in DeFi if you wanted. And that is, your own prerogative. I'm not telling you what to do. In the group, not the DeFi Lounge, but the one where you can work with me, the 10K Fast Track, we go through an onboarding call, go through your portfolio and let you know what is available for you. We don't tell you what to do. We give you your options, depending on if you have Bitcoin, XRP, whatever the hell you want to use, that is the beauty of DeFi and of crypto. But the main thing that I keep trying to get across is, and I actually posted this in the DeFi Lounge, Grok has actually shown where we are on the market, and I don't know if anyone's seen this before. I'm not sure what this chart's called, actually. The phase of the market. So this is it. So Grok is saying that we're here in the depression stage. It's overlaid it with the BTC price. Here's the high at 126k coming down. And this is what it's saying we are now in the bear market. The way you need to look at it, you know, and I've seen all these crypto guys saying, oh, it's a relief rally now because, you know, Iran and the oil and Trump and the same old shit. Well, every time I bring up this chart, here's every single bull run, 2017-18, 2021, and the 24-25 bull run. Every single time. And here we are now, going into this lower phase, ready for the next Bitcoin halving and projected top of the market 2029. So you have got time to figure this out. You have got time to decide, right, I need to do something in this market rather than just sit there and do absolutely nothing and wait for the price to go up. Right? And I did a video the other day, and it was an XRP video, funnily enough. It was this one here, how to earn $50 a day with XRP. And guess what? Everyone was saying, you don't know what you're talking about. You clearly you're not followed the price of XRP, blah, blah, blah. But it just looks like every other chart. You've got the all-time high, and then, sorry, all-time high, goes down, and then it's pretty much gone sideways since Feb. And any video that says that it's still going to go up, it ain't happening. And in that video, I even show there's a guy, a guy that sits on his porch every single day and talks about XRP. This guy here sits on his porch every single day, talks about XRP, doesn't show any charts. All he talks about is that. And I don't know how he's going to just sit there for the next 2 years, pretty much relating every single thing that happens in the real world to XRP going up. And I guarantee that in 2 years, the price won't change much, but he'll still keep talking about it over and over and over and over and over again. Because that's what these guys do. Just the same thing. Regurgitate, regurgitate. If you want to actually do something this year, if you want to do something with your crypto, there you go. Some guys in the comments previously have said, this is what I'm doing. It's working. It's earning yield. You can test it yourself rather than doing nothing. On the other stream that I brought up, I showed rates that you can get in DeFi. Here's a few of them here. These are variable, of course. You've got 55% ETH, 57% Solana, 20% XRP, 65% AVAX, 38% Chainlink. Decent rates of return back on your crypto, which if you want to earn income, you want to gain more of those tokens, you can do rather than just watching a guy sat on a porch talking about your coin. But, you know, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. I can only give you the information. You've got to act on the information. You know, it's all there for you. If you've got any questions, let me know. If not, I'm going to shoot. So if you've got anything about DeFi, anything about coins, let me know. If not, I will be off. But if you want to learn more, you want to make your first $100 in DeFi, here's the group if you want to join it. If there's no questions, then that is it for me today. Hope you enjoyed watching. See you guys.